Caitlin Clark is a cross-selling mega superstar. Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, I believe the ship has sailed onto greener pasture. The WNBA, you now have what you wanted. You have a league that you can build on your own. We'll talk about that and more today on the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast, folks. How are we doing? What a beautiful day. Just want to tell you, Caitlin Clark is a mega cross-selling superstar. Beyond anything that we've ever seen, the only other player I've seen had a transformation with the game of golf was Michael Jordan. And the acceleration that took 3-4 years for Michael to get there, to Caitlin to be there in her second year, not even playing basketball. Folks, Caitlin Clark is a mega cross-selling superstar. The effect that she's had not only on her sport, which is the game of basketball. And I want to visit the game of basketball to say anyone that is still comparing Caitlin Clark to the WNBA and the WNBA game of basketball, I'm here to tell you that ship has sailed. Caitlin is a cross-mega selling superstar. LPGA golf, get it done. And folks, I'll tell you, to be able to stand on the tee box and tee off, a lot of people think it's simple, but it's not. And a lot of time the pros have great concentration. For Caitlin to tee that up and play that way, I give you a lot of credit. But then again, I got to go back to where it all started, as it started in Des Moines, Iowa, and as she came into the league. Here's what she was told. Caitlin Clark is not a grown woman. Well, now you look at it, Caitlin Clark is the grownest woman in business acumen in the WNBA. Not upon her own, but the supporting cast of Disney, the supporting cast of AT&T, the supporting cast of Goldman Sachs, the supporting cast of Excel Sports have moved this trajectory in a whole different level. And if you're still talking about Caitlin Clark and comparing her to WNBA players, then I apologize, you missed the mark and that ship has sailed. It has moved on, and it has moved on to greener pasture. The effect that Caitlin has had and what she has done, and not even playing the game of basketball, nobody's ever seen this before. She's a mega cross-selling superstar on the lines of Beyonce, on the lines of mega industry artist Taylor Swift, who she's aligned with now, and I'll tell you, there's no turning back. The WNBA came and said Kathy Engelbert leadership was not very good. Kathy Engelbert didn't do this and Kathy Engelbert didn't do that. But according to the records, Kathy Engelbert came in this league in 2020, and the last time I've looked, the revenue's up, the attendance is up, the ability, the game, the coaching is better. So I don't know what kind of leadership you're looking for. But if you're looking now, you're going to get the leadership that you want, because now Kathy Engelbert's job is coming to an end. I mean, she's mentioned this time and time again, okay, that what her goal and mission statement was, and as she's reached that plateau, and now you have it where you have a cross-mega superstar that they have removed from the WNBA. And why have they become the WNBA? Because the WNBA doesn't want anything to do with Caitlin Clark. So now, you talked about Engelbert's leadership. You got Beck and Hammond of what you can do. This is where it should be. And folks, at the end of the day, if you're making more money, if you got more fans in the seats, if you're putting on a better show in the game of basketball, then you've done your job as a commissioner. That's the commissioner's job. But now, the commissioner's moved on too. And you're going to look at this and how the transformation is going to fall right back into the laps of the WNBA players. And here's what you got, folks. The WNBA and the Players Union, and you look at it from leadership, from Engelbert, from leadership to the Players Union. Are you replacing both? Or is the WNBA ready for a double union? It's called the double-breasted union. It's a little complicated, but it will work in the WNBA because I don't think you're going to get a uniform stance. I mentioned that A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark should be the union leaders, and that's the way it should be. And then with a double-breasted union, which you can have two unions, a lot of corporations, they operate this way. Those who want to be under the brand of CC and have the CC blueprint, and all the rookies coming in, they got a golden opportunity to follow this blueprint and be very successful. All the other ones who want greater earnings, blueprint, want to go out there, make money, Project B, Project C, Project D, Project E, and Project F, you're in that union, you go do whatever you want to do. Because this is what's happening now. Caitlin Clark is no longer required to grow the WNBA. Caitlin Clark requirements now is to grow the LPGA, to grow the PGA, to grow the NFL, to grow the Major League Baseball, to grow children and the effect that you're going to have on hospitals, the effect you're going to have on cancer awareness. There's so many more areas that Caitlin's going to go into. So basketball with Caitlin Clark, that ship has sailed. If anybody's on here talking about the basketball, and they're talking about attendance, and they're talking about who grew the league and how the league has grown and who's done what, you've got your league back. Now you get to grow your league on your own because Caitlin Clark is a mega cross-selling superstar. Folks, these don't come. You talk about a generational talent, yeah, that'll come along. That'll come along more often than a mega cross-selling superstar. You like tennis? Caitlin plays tennis. America, Apple Pie, has adopted Caitlin Clark as her daughter of America. Same way they adopted Kobe Bryant as LA, that's their son, right? So you look at it, Indiana, that's their daughter. And guess what? The revenue now is so high that now private equity has stepped in, the private Wall Street, and said, hey, we'll take the project because we have so many other revenue streams to place Caitlin in, because now with PG&A, what have you discovered? She's a cross-selling superstar. You don't like the leadership, form whoever you want. She's out the WNBA. Folks, I'll tell you this, she will play in the WNBA, but she's out the WNBA. In fact, at Greenbridge or at the Fieldhouse, Caitlin really needs her own office because she's going to have more press conference. She's going to have more meetings than anybody on the team. And it's all because she's cross-selling between markets. And when you can do that, it doesn't matter if it's rowing, it doesn't matter if it's Ranger bass boats, it doesn't matter if it's the Bass Pro. Caitlin is going to be involved in all of that because they found their cross-selling superstar. What does that mean? The WNBA has got to pick up the slack. You've got to pick your ambassadors or who you believe it's going to be. But at the end of the day, Money Mike's telling you, I don't buy it. I'm telling you, Kathy Engelbert, you're moving on. She's done what she's done. As a CEO, you come in. As a commissioner, you close the deal. And now you can do whatever you want to do. Because guess what? The move has been made. They have lifted Caitlin Clark out of the WNBA. They said, we're not going to do this. We're going to private equity. Wall Street has lifted her out of the WNBA and is marketing her on another platform, an international platform. Folks, this is unprecedented, has never been done before. And it all came because guess what? Here was a player that was able to cross into different markets. You can't fault anybody for that. And the cross markets, folks, I'll tell you, it doesn't have anything to do with your ability and talent. That doesn't cross markets. That has to do with your character, your communication skills, your ability to what you portray in public, what effect you have on children, and what effect would you have on other children in NASCAR racing? What effect would you have on NFL kids? What effect would you have on the Shriners Hospital? I could go on and on and on. It's a new day. The WNBA, you have your league now. Caitlin Clark is a mega cross-selling superstar that can cross brands, cross markets, and it's just the beginning. The blueprint works. The blueprint works, and it does work, and now we have the CC brand. So I want you to understand how the Titans do business is they took the WNBA platform and they created that and built that, but then that wasn't enough. So now they've got the CC brand platform, which is a marketing revolution on its own. The CC brand can operate now without the WNBA brand. That's a fascinating thing, folks, because nobody's ever seen that before. The CC brand now can operate without the WNBA platform because Caitlin Clark has a platform of her own. So when you get to it now, Becky Hammond is used crying about leadership. You get who you want. Reeves, no use in crying about officials. No use in crying about the league because Caitlin Clark, have you ever seen there was a movie with Al Capone, Untouchable? Caitlin Clark is now untouchable. She's in a league of her own. She is a cross-selling mega superstar. The leadership is not going to affect. You get who you want to be the leadership. The players are not going to affect Kirk. You get whatever players you want to get. But I will tell you this, CC Brand and her platform is bigger than the WNBA platform, and ain't nobody can question that. And it's going to get bigger because now private equity's involved, and they know how to really push the needle. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. Hope everybody's having a good day. If you're still comparing Caitlin Clark to other WNBA players, then the ship has sailed. If you're comparing Caitlin Clark and growing the NBA, that ship has sailed. Caitlin Clark is so large and so big now, she's growing other vertical markets. That's called the NFL. That's called LPGA. That's called PGA. That's called NASCAR. That's called Bass Pro. They all want Caitlin Clark. And God didn't make a mistake. Okay, much is given to Caitlin. Also, there will be much required. And that's where she fulfills the promise that she made prior to receiving all this and playing in the WNBA and being an ambassador for the children of the United States of America. Folks, I hope I brought you something different. But today, it's a new day. Caitlin Clark is a mega cross-selling superstar. All things are possible to those who believe. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. We will see you soon.